All right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udward Jagero, and this is Political Headache with myself, Udward Jagero.
And I am Kazmal Makoure, offering you perspective on this political headache.
Yeah.
Man.
I saw vehicles parked.
Several vehicles.
Yeah. In
the
Kisumu.
DJT. Donald J. Trump has withdrawn USAID. You know, kitambo nikiwa mtoto, I used to think USAID meant AIDS from the Ukimwi United States. But money has been withdrawn. This has elicited a lot of reaction online.
It's a lot of money, bro. Can I read you some of the things that has happened?
Bro.
Can I read you some of the things that has happened?
Let me know.
It's unbelievable.
You know, it's just one thing for us to just know it's been withdrawn, but for you to see uproar throughout the entire country, it must be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's a long list. Almost. This list is long, bro. But I think the person who compiled this list should have. The World Food Program they have taken 15 billion USD from the. No, this is shillings.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Then Catholic Relief Services have lost 2.7 billion.
Bruh.
Develop Alternatives, 2.5 billion. World Vision, 2.3 billion. There's an organization called PATH. I don't know if you know them.
Yes.
2.3 billion. Liverpool visiti pale tunaendanga tunalipa 500 bob tunatestiwa. Kumbe
wanakuanga kutestiwa bure.
Kabisa. Wamepewa 2.1 billion. Moi Training and Referring Hospital was given 2 billion. United Nations Children Fund, 1.6 billion. AMREF, 1.5 billion.
But you see, at least those companies we know, we sometimes can say they do a bit of work.
Yes,
Go down that list.
Masico.
University of Nairobi also was given some money. Moi University was given some money by USAID. There are some interesting organizations in there that Catholic bishops are in there as well. Who else?
Kenyatta University, good.
Right.
Stratham University, that's education.
Right.
Wajir Development Fund, a lot of money, 363 million. But the question that I think Trump and Americans have been asking, why are we dishing all this money out? You know, something that interested me is that Museveni has been in government for more than 30 years.
Yes.
And the pregnant women in Barara does not get their nets from the Ugandan government.
They get them from aid.
They get their nets from the American government.
Man.
You know? And you're wondering, what is it that Africans have been doing for such a long time without taking care of themselves?
That's really interesting because the aid economy, if I may say so, this withdrawal has elicited mixed reaction in America. But especially here in Africa, a lot of people have been saying, scrape off everything. Don't give us any sort of aid. But I've seen a Kenyan sentiment where that is directed as a wake-up call to this government. They hope that this government is starved of money and then we can be able to figure out ways to take care of ourselves. But I also saw another sentiment. Why are people celebrating that the people who used to work in USAID lose their jobs? There was a celebratory sort of tone, and the people who've worked in those kinds of spaces have been writing a lot of think pieces, but the average Kenyan is just that itolewe because they said, again, here in Nairobi, they've said they're driving rent prices for Ruaka and its environs up. They're saying that now they can go to restaurants and be served. They don't have to wait for white people to be served first. People are saying that aid has been coming and they don't see its effect. Again, you know, it just hit me. It unlocked a core memory. When I was in Magadi Primary School, we used to eat balga. I think balga was wheat or something. We used to eat a lot of food from USAID in that public school. So I'm just thinking, there are kids who actually would survive on that. But what does that speak to our food security? Like the withdrawal of this aid, which is very crazy for African countries. It's gotten to the point where aid is factored in our budget. We almost plan for it.
How do they factor it in?
Like, we know that a certain chunk will be taken care of by donor funding. it's almost as though we've budgeted for aid. We know that, every year America spends this much on us. And people are celebrating Uhuru the other day for saying that we should stop crying and find solutions that are internal.
Americans, actually, it went viral in the United States.
Kabisa. And
when Uhuru was talking about, wachini kulia, this, you don't pay tax there.
That is him saying,
you pay,
America Kwanza.
You pay tax, America Kwanza.
Yes.
See, walisema Kenya Kwanza.
Yes, they were saying, what's the difference between Kenya Kwanza and America Kwanza? That we shouldn't cry. This aid thing, and then Trump goes ahead further and says that he will impose tariffs.
On, yes. Tariffs, the Canadian and
Canada,
and Mexico and China
especially. And his logic, if I were to simplify it, is that his borders are porous.
Yeah.
And that these people are allowing, one, aliens to get into the country, two, fentanyl and drugs that are massacring the population. And I saw somewhere that during the Democrats' rule, there were millions of immigrants who made it into the States. Now these tariffs, and for anyone who does not understand what a tariff is, so that you don't have to go and outside the show,
explain.
It's basically a tax that is imposed on a good that is imported. So anything you pay in customs, once a good crosses the border, the amount you pay is a tariff. And tariffs are rather interesting because one of the most popular ones was a thing called the chicken wars. And America, I think these guys were based in Arkansas, and they used to export chicken to the European Commission or whatever. And that was the time for the Cold War. We were fighting for independence, then they were fighting for prices of chicken. That is around 62, 63. And a tariff was imposed, and then now chicken became more expensive. So the whole point of a tariff is we want to promote made in our country, for example, made in America or made in Kenya for our case. And hopefully you hurt the people who are
bringing stuff into your country.
Stuff into our country so that we try and promote our cottage and local manufacturing industries. But that sometimes backfires. Because, for example, if you want to import a BMW from Germany and then you've imposed that, who shoulders that?
Yeah, it is
the
us.
tariff. It's you, the consumer.
Like Kenya is claiming that they are making vehicles and therefore we don't want BMWs coming into the country.
Yes.
But they're not making anything.
Right. The
so
Mobius is...
So then that's the reason why it's basically tax.
But the Mobius is kind of cool though. The Mobius is kind of cool.
The Mobius, they shut down.
Oh, they did?
Yes, and then they were bought off by another company. But the thing is that it's America, if you listen to Americans, I'm on Reddit a lot. And on basically in most forums in the United States, life there is not good.
Right.
As a matter of fact, a lot of Kenyans that are in the United States are coming back home because the economy is very hard for Americans themselves, and Americans are going hungry. In fact, I would also say that people from outside our country are doing really badly. I have always told people that I do not envy Europeans. When I go there, it's not nice. Like those people live in very tiny apartments. These people are living on bread. Right. Our Jama, they cannot afford vegetables. There is a time I was in Barcelona and in a hotel, and at the swimming pool, I'm talking to this English guy, and he's telling me that he's in Barcelona to visit his girlfriend. And I was asking, why then are you staying in a hotel if you're visiting your girlfriend in Barcelona? And he told me a very funny story that, look, my girlfriend does not own a house in Barcelona because it's very expensive to own a house in Barcelona. So my girlfriend is having other 3 people living with her. So it's a 4-bedroom apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment, and each and every person is paying for a bedroom. And then the living room is the common area where they watch TV and do all sorts of things.
That's what we do in campus
in
Kenya.
Yes, it's happening in Europe right now. Yeah. And then so the landlords in Barcelona have got a very strict contract.
Yes.
If you want to hire, if you want to rent, that you're the only one who can sleep there.
Man.
Yes. Your girlfriend can't sleep there.
It's like hostels for campus people here.
Exactly.
Right.
And for you to get to do fine dining in Europe, it's very difficult and very expensive. These people just eat burgers and all this shitty food.
Yeah.
And if you go to America, they drink Coke.
Right.
And don't have good food. Why? Because everything has skyrocketed.
Yes.
They are suffering. But the money that is supposed to be helping them is used to buy mosquito net for women in Sierra Leone.
Send food to poor children.
Yes, and the question is, yes, it is good. Because the Bible says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Lakini Americans are not having anything for themselves. So all this money that is cutted away to buy condoms in Jamaica, it does not make sense.
Right.
Condoms.
Yes.
USAID is buying condoms in Jamaica.
Yeah. And I've seen people do that whole thing. So
what I am thinking is, how would Kenyans feel if they give taxes and their taxes are buying condoms in Rwanda?
It would be an uproar.
Yeah,
Yes.
it would be an uproar.
Yes.
So America Kwanza,
Yes.
I totally agree. And one day, Njoya said on the internet,
Yes.
I think yesterday,
Right.
is that the celebration, the celebratory mood that you're talking about,
Yes.
is not that we hate Kenyans that are working with the USAID. But it's a wake-up call for African governments.
Right.
That all this money that the European Union is pouring in Africa,
Yes.
and yet Europeans are going hungry.
Yes.
Why can't they put that money in European in Europe?
Union, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And help those people. So that is the anger that is in America, and the anger that the Americans are angry
Yes.
that our money is being carted away to help other people who also have their own governments.
Yes.
And everybody knows around the world that African governments are corrupt.
Right.
And they take all the money and then they pocket it.
Yeah.
That is why they buy watches for 10 million
Yes.
and shoes and alligator shoes.
Yes.
So that's what happens. So the Americans are unhappy that their money is being cutted away to people that already have theirs.
Yes.
Kenyans are unhappy that because of this aid, our money that is supposed to be helping us is being pocketed. Sindio?
Yes,
So that's
yes,
the thing. So you stay with your money. We have our money and we budget with our money.
But then what happens because all the USAID workers were rendered redundant. We already have an unemployment problem. And so what does that speak? Do you see it sending shockwaves through the economy? Because remember, we still don't have like a proper plan for HIV. We still don't have a proper plan and talking about HIV, it's very curious and I've consistently said this, and I'm happy more people are latching onto it, but numbers have consistently been inflated in certain areas to appeal to donor funding. So while there could be that, but then also you find these people work with a lot of communities. There are places where aid actually gets to and aid works, but of course there's the people who apply for the things.
People are gonna suffer because can I tell you a story? I like telling stories.
Go for it.
My uncle used to have a problem with his limbs, and in the 70s, all the way to early 90s,
yes.
there is an organization that was giving the drug for this particular disease for free.
Yes.
And my uncle used to come to Nairobi to get it from Kenyatta Hospital. There's a specific organization that was dealing with this very niche down, this disease.
Yes.
And they were giving this thing.
Yes.
At some point, my uncle says that they stopped funding this drug. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you are enjoying this episode so far. I broke the episode just to tell you something that is very, very interesting. In 2024, a lot of people were saying that I am broke, Jagero. I do not have a job. That what is interesting is that when they were telling me this in 2024, I was already working on a book for the last 3 years. And that book was about the hustles and the jobs that you can get online. Now, what you need to know about me, Jagero, is that I have always traveling. I'm always doing this crazy, nice stuff. But I've never been employed since I left college. And I'm not saying that because I hate employment. I didn't get employment, But I have always worked. I've always earned money. I have worked for Americans. I've worked for Europeans. I've worked for Kenyan. I've worked for anybody literally on the face of the earth. And these are jobs that I've always gotten online, on LinkedIn, on other ways. So I've been very busy in 2024. I wrote a book called The Digital Gold Mine, 18 side hustles that you can take advantage of online. And a lot of people bought that book. Almost sometimes even 500 people in a month buying that book. And people have been saying, are there more jobs? Yes, there are more jobs. So in 2024, they are no longer 18 side hustles, but they are 25 side hustles because I have added other books. So in 2025, you cannot say, Jagero, I don't have a job. Jagero, I am broke, because I have put it before you. The book is not expensive. It is 1,000 Kenya shillings, or if you are asking about the price in other parts of the world, it is just $10. Okay? So in the description below, I have put the link that takes you to where you can learn more about the book, and I've also left a link where you can buy the book. So thank you very much, and let's go back to programming. And he couldn't find it in Kenya. And then later on, it popped up again, and it was extremely expensive for him. And ultimately, my uncle died of this limb problem. Yeah. So I can imagine what suddenly people who are suffering from HIV and AIDS are going to suffer. Yeah. Because probably we are now going to have fakes. Because now it's business. Yes. It's now capitalistic. Right. You know? So we are going to have fakes. We are going to have the quality is not going to be good. Because if you go to Liverpool VCT, there is a type of the way they check for HIV. They have something called determine. Yes. Determine, you cannot find it anywhere else except at Liverpool VCT. Yeah. So you can imagine, and there is a lady who was telling me that it's actually 99.9. What is the word?
% accurate?
Yes.
Yes.
But you can't find it. You know, you can go to a pharmacy and get the self-test. Right. But it's about 60% or 70% accurate. But the other one at Liverpool VCT is 99% accurate. Yes. And it is within 15 minutes. You've got your result. Right. Yeah. And it's only 500 bob. It is heavily discounted. Yes. And now that the money is gone, people are going to suffer. Yeah. The problem is that if we had a responsible government, and you see, for example, the Canadian government coming out very strongly when the tariff has been levied on them. The Mexican government fought with Trump. Yes. The Chinese government actually had a serious hitback of their own. Yes. I would wonder if Trump came head-to-head with Ruto, what Ruto would say.
But you see, Trump has mastered the art of the deal. Because with all those things, he said, now I had people deploy, they're going to deploy 10,000 troops on their borders to ensure it doesn't come in. Yes. He said, then we might halt. We might have, because remember, Kenya is one of the United States' most strategic partners in Africa. We have the privilege of enjoying a fairly stable democracy. In comparison, it's very stable.
I feel like Trump doesn't care. Trump does not care.
Trump might not care, but America surely does.
But who is America right now? Right now, America is Trump.
Yes.
And Trump is America.
It's very true. But and this is why I keep on saying that we're still very strategic partners to the United States.
Because you remember, Trump does not even have any respect for the CIA. He does not have respect for the FBI. Right. So if you study the conservatives and the
liberals.
The liberals, they really do not think that they should influence the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially the Republicans.
Yes. We just want to be good Americans, having our meals, having our medicine, having our health, having our education. Yes. We don't care if Germany thinks that we are the superpower. So they don't. And this is the problem that people do not understand. Yes. That we do not care how people view us out there. Yes. What we care about is that we are self-sufficient. So Imambo, at his strategic partner for Trump is asking for what? Yes. That's why he said that Canada should be the 51st state.
Yes. They just bring it in.
Hey. Yes. Come on, why are we paying you billions? Yes. And we are helping you for doing what to us?
Come.
Hey.
Come home.
He was asking why do we have to help Ukrainians? They have their neighbors. Yeah. They don't want. They want. They don't. I do not think that they don't. Trump doesn't even cares about who rules the world. Yeah, he doesn't. We don't want to rule the world.
Right.
We want to be the United States of America.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's rather curious because I saw J.D. Vance say, was it an interview or a tweet, where he was just like, whenever they get into office, first question Trump asks him is, how many days left? So he has this sense of urgency, learning from his previous administration with the Dems trying to impeach him and whatnot. But I'm curious to see because it will send shockwaves in the economies where USAID was present. I'm curious to see what that means for Kenya, because do you think we are prepared enough to cushion what the shock it will send? Are we prepared in the health sector, food security?
I don't think. Especially, I think education and health is really going to suffer.
And food security as well.
Yeah, food may be number 3. Okay. But the most important is health and
education.
then followed by education, and then probably food.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what you have to give Trump is that Trump really fights for the United States and for the people that voted for him.
Yes.
And that is what our governments in Africa do not do. People Mount Kenya voted for this government.
Right.
And they were very disappointed merely months down the line, because they were promised something that they never got.
But see, they had shares.
Which shares? They never had any share. Share ni ile ya 2 billion bana. Wewe wachana na hiyo story. Hakuna the shares, hakuna. Dude,
yeah.
If Raila Odinga goes to Ruto and tells Ruto that, look, I have got Oparanya, I have got Mbadi, I have got who and who, so weka ye kwa Ministry of weka ye Treasury, weka ye ingine ya coast huko kwa siji mining and whatever, weka huyu siji wapi, weka huyu siji wapi, weka huyu siji wapi. How is that shareholding for the Luo nation and the Coastarians?
It is not. The pushback which I would give is that he means he's a nationalist, because he would have just taken Luos and put them in there. Because remember, after Ishaweri, is he
a nationalist or a schemer?
I think Raila is a nationalist who's not gotten the chance to.
No, I'm talking about Ruto.
Ruto is a president, man. So he's a symbol of national unity.
Yeah.
I do not know the first thing about being president, but I don't know.
I also think that honestly, presidency is a big thing on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rather heavy.
You have a lot of people to appease and a lot of enemies to make.
Right.
But I think that you can never go wrong when you are on the side of the people.
Yes.
It's very difficult to go wrong.
Right.
When you're on the side of the people. And that's why the world, everybody's crying. But America is like, go on, Mr. Trump.
Yes.
Show these guys that we can be America.
But what if it's just because we are seeing far-right propaganda on the internet? Because right now, Trump is with Ellen and you cannot run away. And big social media has almost gone right. What if that's the side that we're seeing?
And that is what I've not understood. Why big pharma and big social media, big pharma,
tech.
Big tech. That's the one.
I like saying everything. I'm just like big political.
It's actually big tech.
Yes.
I wonder why they had to be afraid of Trump and quickly align. I don't know, because there are some news organizations that don't like him and they don't care.
Right.
Like CNN and New York Times.
Yes.
They don't like him. They keep aggressive reporting against him.
Yeah.
And there is nothing he can do to them.
Right.
So I'm wondering. I think what probably Facebook, Meta, and Google feared the most was that they could. The Justice Department is now in terms in his pocket. Yeah, he can come up with things.
The J in DJT stands for justice.
And what?
The J in Donald J. Trump. That J stands for Justice Department.
Donald Justice Trump.
Right.
That is why even Google and Apple have refused to actually allow TikTok to be on their stores.
Oh yeah.
Because somebody inside Google and at Apple was saying, this guy is live wire.
Right.
This guy can tell you today that you're not going to be under any repercussion.
Yes.
But it's not in law.
Man.
And then the next day, you piss him off and say, you broke the law.
Yes.
And you know you did.
Yes.
Now it's time to pay.
Man.
So it's a huge wake-up call to African governments and other third world countries to know that we have to be self-sufficient, and we can. We can. We can't be making flyovers for 5 billion, and we do not have malaria drugs
and launching pit latrines.
Yes, and we do not have malaria drugs
and parking sheds.
Yes, and parking sheds. We can't do it.
We do not have education.
Yeah. And all these things, now we know we are in a globalized world.
Right.
Where people see these things.
Yes.
Those vehicles are trending. The vehicles in Kisumu.
Yes.
They're trending everywhere.
Right.
Like new Toyota 2023, 2024.
Yes.
Like a long line in Kisumu.
Is there an auction coming up?
Huh?
Is there an auction that
it is the property of the United States, and they will sell them off, and the highest bidder or the most corrupt person will get them.
So we expect to see convoys in 2027.
Malia Raya. So we can finish this?
Yes, let us know what you think about the tariffs, the withdrawal of aid to developing countries, and what you think we need to do, because that's our headache for today. We're still trying to figure out what does this mean. That's our headache for today. Yes, that's our headache for this episode. It's been an amazing episode. It's been a lovely discussion. I'm Kazmal Makoure.
And Adwo Chekero.
See you guys on the next one.
See you.